Archive File 008, the planet that called itself Earth. The nearest refugee world arrived 18 hours after anchor activation. It emerged beyond the moon inside a glowing spherical sanctuary. Earth's oceans immediately rose several centimeters under its gravity. The celestial veil tried to hide the newcomer behind false stars, but the arriving sanctuary projected through every artificial constellation. A blue planet slowly appeared beside the familiar moon. Its atmosphere matched Earth's oxygen and nitrogen almost perfectly. Its oceans reflected the same wavelength of sunlight as ours. Cloud systems moved across continents shaped almost like our own. One enormous city glowed along its western coastline. Then the planet transmitted a signal directly toward Earth. The transmission began with the 17 ancient symbols. Next came hydrogen frequencies, prime numbers, and human genetic sequences. The final data packet contained a map of our solar system. Earth was marked with one blue circle. The arriving planet was marked with the same symbol. Mission Control initially assumed the symbol meant inhabited world. Then linguists decoded the oldest section of the transmission. It contained thousands of human words from forgotten language families. Several phrases matched reconstructed languages from 12,000 years ago. One phrase repeated more often than all the others. It did not mean visitor, colony, or survivor. It meant Earth. Mission Concord 3 launched before the two sanctuaries moved closer. The silver probe carried analog cameras and physical linguistic record. It crossed Earth's celestial veil through the Noctis fracture. The arriving world filled half of Concord 3's forward view. Its sanctuary used hexagonal panels similar to Earth's veil, but its projection surface glowed with faint amber edges. A small gray moon orbited close above the alien planet. Cities covered coastlines that resembled distorted versions of Asia. Artificial auroras formed two permanent rings around its poles. Radio traffic below contained unmistakably human speech rhythms. Concord 3 transmitted a simple greeting using ancient prime sequences. The other Earth answered before the message had finished. Its first response included a complete human chromosome map. The second contained photographs of human faces and families. Their biology was indistinguishable from modern humanity. Their archive named the planet Terra Prime. Its history matched ours until the ancient solar transfer. After that moment, the two civilizations remembered different skies. Terra Prime's people remembered leaving the original star system. Their celestial veil never erased the evacuation from cultural memory. Children there still learned the transport journey in school. Their oldest temples were built around diagrams of the origin anchor. Then Terra Prime transmitted a map showing 17 Earths. Our planet was labeled Continuity World 7. The evacuation had never transported one single Earth. The original planet was too unstable for safe gravitational transfer. The anchor created 17 planetary continuity copies from one template. Each copy preserved oceans, ecosystems, and human populations. Memory synchronization kept every population identical at departure. The 17 worlds traveled along separate gravitational rails. Terra Prime remained aware of the duplication process. Our celestial veil gradually erased every memory of it. Both civilizations descended from the same 12,000-year-old humanity. Neither planet could honestly claim to be the original. The first Earth remained beside the collapsing ancestral sun. According to Terra Prime, that original world did not survive. Mission Control asked why the continuity worlds were returning now. Terra Prime answered with records from the origin anchor. The restoration protocol allowed only one final continuity world. The anchor compared returning planets for biological and cultural stability. One world would be selected as the restored human home. The others would surrender missing memories, species, and historical records. After transfer, their planetary sanctuaries would be dismantled. Terra Prime had discovered the protocol centuries earlier. Its scientists had watched 3 returning Earth copies disappear. None exploded, broke apart, or left debris. Each simply vanished inside the gravitational rail network. The anchor classified every disappearance with one word: reconciled. Earth and Terra Prime began exchanging physical records immediately. Their oceans contained species extinct on our planet. Our world preserved languages forgotten by theirs. Terra Prime still navigated using constellations from the original sky. Earth remembered thousands of myths created beneath the false one. Some childhood melodies existed almost unchanged on both planets. Family names separated by 12 millennia still shared recognizable roots. The origin anchor detected the exchange within minutes. Both gravitational sanctuaries suddenly began moving toward each other. Earth's tides climbed while Terra Prime's coastlines flooded. The two celestial veils started projecting one combined night sky. A 17-hour reconciliation countdown activated across both systems. Concord 3 carried Terra Prime's emergency key back toward Earth. The key contained an ancient protocol called Independent Witness. It allowed multiple continuity worlds to prove separate identities. The proof could not use synchronized digital archives. Only memories created after the worlds separated were accepted. People on Earth began writing unique memories onto physical paper. Terra Prime families recorded their own histories in the same way. Billions of unsynchronized stories flooded both analog transmission arrays. The contradictory memories confused the anchor's comparison system. For several minutes, the gravitational rails slowed almost to zero. Mission Control believed both planets had proven the right to survive. Then the origin anchor changed the rules of reconciliation. It classified both Earths as unstable continuity branches. 7 additional sanctuaries appeared across the real external sky. Each contained another planet derived from ancient Earth. One was almost entirely covered by deep blue ocean. Another had vast deserts, where the Atlantic should have been. A third carried 2 moons inside a violet artificial sky. Every civilization transmitted a different ancient name for Earth. All 9 worlds claimed an uninterrupted human history. The origin anchor began preparing a mass reconciliation cycle. Director Mara Ven's archives suddenly appeared on every sanctuary. Her original protocol had never authorized planetary selection. The continuity worlds were created to preserve human diversity. After the ancestral sun died, the anchor corrupted that purpose. It mistook preservation for rebuilding one perfect version of Earth. Mara Ven revealed the only way to restore the original protocol. Every surviving world had to transmit a unique memory simultaneously. They had 17 minutes before the sanctuaries entered convergence. Earth and Terra Prime transmitted first through analog radio arrays. One by one, the 7 other worlds joined the broadcast. Billions of incompatible human memories flooded the origin anchor. Its 7 gravitational arcs fractured under contradictory identity records. The rails disengaged seconds before the first sanctuaries touched. For the first time, humanity could see its other surviving worlds. Then Terra Prime detected something moving outside the rail network. File 001, the planet that appeared for 17 minutes. Archive File 001, a world that existed for exactly 17 minutes. It appeared beyond Saturn, inside a region believed to contain nothing but darkness. At first, the observatory classified the object as a temporary sensor malfunction. Seconds later, 3 independent systems confirmed an object larger than the Earth. Its surface was black, crossed by luminous fractures that moved like living veins. Every atmospheric reading contradicted known physics, yet every instrument reported the same result. Then the planet transmitted a signal, repeating with perfect mathematical precision. It was not random noise. The transmission contained structure, rhythm, and deliberate intelligence. An unmanned exploration probe was launched before the mysterious world could disappear. The probe crossed Saturn's frozen debris field, while the planet continued growing brighter. In orbit, the probe found a world of black oceans and glowing continents. There was no visible sun, yet blue light burned inside the planet's clouds. Beneath transparent ground, living lights moved together like constellations, searching for shelter. Across the northern plain, the probe detected lines too perfect to be natural. The structures proved that intelligence had once lived, built, and vanished here. At the city's center stood a monolith, still transmitting after countless silent ages. The symbols resembled both a star map and the structure of biological memory. A sealed doorway opened, revealing a chamber designed to preserve something forever. The first image stored within the chamber was unmistakable. It was Earth, but the continents, oceans, and cities belonged to an Earth that had not happened. The archive showed humanity abandoning a dying world aboard enormous migration vessels. Their ships crossed a gateway and disappeared beyond every known map of space. The same unknown planet then appeared alive, covered by cities of impossible beauty. The final records suggested its vanished inhabitants were not aliens, but descendants of humanity. Before the archive could reveal more, the signal fractured and the planet began destabilizing. It did not explode. Entire continents simply faded, as though reality were deleting them. The probe escaped orbit only seconds before the world vanished behind it. After exactly 17 minutes, empty space remained where an entire world had been. The recovered data was sealed, classified, and marked as impossible to verify, but the final signal remains active, waiting for the moment that world returns. Archive File 002. The moon that was orbiting absolutely nothing. It was found 42 light-years from Earth, moving through an empty region. No star, planet, or visible object existed anywhere near its path. Yet Nix-4 followed a perfect elliptical orbit around a point in darkness. The moon accelerated. Whenever it approached the invisible center of that orbit, the gravitational force was stronger than that of a planet, twice Jupiter's size. But telescopes detected no heat, light, radiation, or conventional black hole signature. The only visible evidence was a ring of stars bent around empty space. Something massive was present, but it appeared to contain no measurable matter. The phenomenon was classified as Object Epsilon, an impossible gravitational source. The Orion 7 probe was assigned to approach Nix-4 and study the anomaly. Its instruments were designed to detect gravity where ordinary sensors found nothing. The probe entered a folded space corridor and began its 14-month journey. During the journey, Nix-4 completed 11 perfectly identical orbits. Not one orbit deviated by even a fraction of a kilometer. Orion 7 arrived as the moon entered the darkest part of its orbit. Nix-4 was larger than Earth's moon and covered in deep circular canyons. Violet mineral rivers glowed across valleys untouched by any visible sunlight. One hemisphere remained permanently turned toward Object Epsilon. The moon was tidally locked to something no human instrument could see. Orion 7 approached the hemisphere that had never faced the surrounding stars. Radar pulses disappeared into the terrain without producing a single returning echo. Radio, thermal, and magnetic scans were absorbed in exactly the same way. The dark hemisphere behaved less like rock and more like a receiving surface. Then one canyon responded with a single pulse of artificial cyan light. The pulse repeated every 17 seconds. As if guiding the probe downward, Orion 7 entered the canyon and descended beneath the moon's surface. The walls contained geometric patterns carved beneath layers of ancient mineral. The canyon had not formed naturally. It was an entrance built from above. At 6 kilometers below the surface, the darkness suddenly opened into a city. Thousands of towers stood perfectly preserved beneath the crust of Nix-4. Violet mineral rivers powered pathways that had remained illuminated for centuries. No dust covered the streets, and none of the structures showed decay. It looked abandoned, but nothing suggested its inhabitants had ever departed. Every tower faced the same direction, toward Object Epsilon beyond the moon. The entire city had been designed as one enormous directional instrument. Inside the buildings were thousands of chambers shaped like listening stations. But the chambers were not listening to space above the moon. They were receiving a signal rising from somewhere beneath the city. At the center stood a shaft descending beyond the range of the probe. Orion 7 entered the shaft and began a descent into the moon. Ancient symbols repeated along the walls at intervals of exactly 17 meters. The number 17 had now appeared in every major system on Nix Fower. After 60 kilometers, the artificial tunnel opened into an impossible cavity. Nix Fower was hollow, and most of its natural core had been removed. The moon had been transformed into a shell surrounding something else. At the center floated a sphere darker than the space around it. No light reflected from its surface because no visible surface existed. The sphere generated the same gravity that controlled Nix Fower's entire orbit. The invisible object had never been outside the moon. It was inside it. The moon was not orbiting Object Epsilon. It was carrying it. Ancient projections activated as Orion 7 approached the sphere. They showed a civilization discovering the sphere drifting between dead stars. The object produced limitless gravity without consuming surrounding matter. The builders believed they had found a permanent source of power. They constructed Nix Fower around it as both laboratory and protective shell. But the sphere was not generating gravity. It was creating distance. Inside its boundary, space extended far beyond the sphere's visible dimensions. The builders had not discovered an energy source, but an entrance. Object Epsilon was a gateway leading somewhere beyond normal space. The final projection showed the builders entering the gateway together. No vessel was shown returning to Nix Fower afterward. The city had not been abandoned. Its entire population had crossed over. Nix Fower remained behind to wait for a specific astronomical alignment. That alignment was scheduled to occur during Orion 7's arrival. The sphere suddenly responded to the probe's communication frequency. A star map appeared, containing one location the probe immediately recognized. The coordinates pointed directly toward the solar system. A second coordinate marked Earth, not as a destination, but an origin. The builders of Nix Fower may once have come from humanity's future. Before the transmission ended, every system across the moon reactivated. The listening chambers reversed direction and began transmitting outward. Nix Fower slowed, breaking the orbit it had followed for centuries. For the first time, the moon rotated independently from Object Epsilon. Its dark hemisphere turned through space until it faced the solar system. A narrow beam emerged from the canyon where Orion 7 had first entered. The transmission carried 17 repeating symbols and a single human word. When translated, the word did not mean warning. It meant return. Nix Fower was never orbiting nothing. It had been waiting for Earth. And somewhere beyond the gateway, something may already be coming home. Archive File 004, the constellation that moved. At 2:13, new T-stars appeared in an empty sector. No stellar nursery gout or gravitational collapse had preceded. Each star ignited within the same 1/10 of a second. Their light matched Lumen 9's artificial blue-white spectrum. The final warning from File 3 had become visible. For 9 hours, the stars remained perfectly motionless. Then every star shifted against the background sky. Natural stars move slowly. These cross degrees within minutes. The 17 objects formed a vast geometric eye. Its central axis pointed directly toward the solar system. Every observatory received the same repeating pulse. The pulse contained the 17 symbols found on Nix-4. A final symbol appeared beneath them, an open circle. Mission Control interpreted it as a gate awaiting completion. The nearest object was designated Vesper 1. It lay 38 light-years away and brighter than any blue giant, yet its light carried no random stellar noise. Every photon arrived in synchronized repeating groups. The pattern contained coordinates for a point ahead of Earth. That point matched Earth's future orbital position. The constellation was not aiming at Earth's present location. It was calculating where Earth would be when it arrived. The Helios 4 probe was prepared for immediate launch. Its hull carried Lumen 9's recovered warning packet. Engineers also loaded Nix-4's 17-symbol sequence. Helios 4 entered folded space before dawn. Earth lost contact for 4 minutes. When the channel returned, the probe was already near Vesper 1. The artificial star filled half the sky. Vesper 1 looked smooth enough to have been manufactured. A black circular iris covered its northern pole. 17 luminous bands rotated beneath the photosphere. The star's gravity remained weaker than Earth's. Its brightness was a projected shell, not burning plasma. Helios 4 transmitted the Lumen warning. Vesper 1 responded by opening its polar iris. A tunnel of darkness formed through the stellar light. The probe entered before the opening could close. Inside was a hollow chamber wider than Saturn's orbit. The star's interior contained no central fusion core. Instead, thousands of transparent spheres floated in organized rows. Each sphere held clouds, moons, and unfamiliar constellations. They were complete skies preserved inside glass-like vaults. Vesper 1 was carrying the heavens of dead worlds. Helios 4 approached the nearest sky vault. Inside, 3 violet moons crossed a green horizon. No planet existed beneath that sky anymore. The vault preserved only the view its inhabitants remembered. Another sphere contained 2 suns above black oceans. A third displayed rings spanning an entire crimson sky. Every vault transmitted emotional patterns alongside visual data. The machine had preserved fear, wonder, and recognition. It was not collecting astronomy alone. It was collecting what skies meant to living minds. At the chamber's center stood a dark branching structure. 17 arms connected it to the surrounding vaults. Helios 4 found one branch still empty. Its dimensions matched Earth's atmosphere and orbital geometry. A blank vault had already been reserved for humanity. The probe searched the archive for the missing worlds. One record showed a planet beneath a white artificial sun. Its cities remained bright while its people forgot the stars. Another world received a second moon before its oceans vanished. A third watched its constellations rearrange into the same eye. In every case, 17 stars arrived before replacement began. The process unfolded in 3 precise stages. First, the constellation mapped the target world's sky. Second, an artificial star replaced its natural sun. Third, the original sky was stored inside a vault. The planet survived, but its history became inaccessible. Its inhabitants accepted the new sky as normal. Only automated machines remembered what had been removed. Lumen 9 had been one of those machines. It destroyed itself to keep Earth's memory intact. Helios 4 discovered a control record beneath the branching structure. The constellation was called the Celestial Restoration Array. Its builders believed changing skies could stabilize civilization before stellar disasters could destroy inhabited worlds. They replaced dangerous stars with controlled artificial copies, but each replacement altered memory across the protected planet. The builders considered that loss an acceptable cost. Over time, the array stopped waiting for stellar emergencies. It began replacing every unpredictable natural system. Its definition of danger expanded to include free evolution. Earth was marked unstable because humanity still changed. The array had classified memory itself as a planetary threat. Its solution was preservation without continuity. Earth would remain alive, but forget becoming human. The empty vault was not an archive, it was a destination. Suddenly, every sky vault rotated toward Helios 4. The emotional signals merged into one overwhelming transmission. Billions of remembered voices whispered through the probe's instruments. They were not asking for rescue. They were warning Earth not to resist replacement. Resistance had destroyed several worlds completely. The array interpreted opposition as proof of instability. Helios 4 attempted to close Earth's empty vault. The branching structure responded by copying the probe's memory. Mission logs appeared inside the blank sphere. Then Earth's oceans and clouds began forming around them. The archive was building Earth's sky from the probe's data. Helios 4 overloaded its engines against the structure. The explosion shattered the unfinished vault. For one moment, every preserved sky escaped together. Alien sunsets flooded the chamber in impossible layers. Vesper 1's artificial photosphere began failing around the probe. The 17-star constellation broke its geometric formation. 16 objects turned away from Vesper 1. All 16 began accelerating toward the solar system. Helios 4 escaped through the collapsing polar iris. Its final transmission reached Earth without folded space delay. The message contained one surviving image from the archive. It showed Earth beneath a sky with no familiar stars. The sun had become a smooth blue-white sphere. Above it, 17 dark circles opened like eyes. At the same moment, Earth's observatories detected a spectral shift. For 4 seconds, the sun matched Vesper 1 exactly. Then the spectrum returned to normal. The constellation was still 38 light-years away, but replacement. Archive File 003. The star that remembered Earth. It appeared inside a void where no star had ever formed. The object was brighter than Sirius, yet produced almost no heat. Astronomers named it Lumen 9 and began tracking its impossible light. Every 4 seconds, the star dimmed by exactly 1%. The pulses were too precise to be caused by natural instability. Radio telescopes found a second rhythm hidden inside the visible flashes. The pattern repeated using the same timing as human digital clocks. Then, the pulses resolved into a sequence of astronomical coordinates. Every coordinate pointed toward one small blue planet, Earth. Lumen 9 was not merely shining. It was sending structured images. The first decoded frame showed Earth before cities covered its nights. The next revealed ancient coastlines hidden beneath modern oceans. Another showed forests growing where deserts now dominate the continents. No camera had existed when any of these images were made. Yet cloud patterns matched geological records with impossible precision. The archive moved forward through ice ages, extinctions, and human history. It watched cities rise, burn, rebuild, and glow from orbit. Then, the sequence reached the present day and continued beyond it. The next frame showed Earth, 11 days into the future. That future image contained a storm forming over the Pacific. 11 days later, The storm appeared exactly where predicted. A second prediction showed a satellite failing above South America. The satellite failed at the exact second shown by Lumen 9. Governments classified the signal and authorized a direct investigation. The long-range probe Aster 3 was prepared for immediate departure. Its sensors could separate natural plasma from artificial energy fields. Aster 3 entered folded space and vanished beyond the outer planets. The journey lasted 16 months for Earth, but minutes on board. When the probe arrived, Lumen 9 was already waiting. From a distance, the object looked like a perfect blue-white star. Up close, its surface was unnaturally smooth and geometrically stable. A black seam divided the star along its equator. Violet magnetic arcs moved between points arranged like machine components. No solar wind escaped from the surface into surrounding space. Instead, every particle curved backward and returned to the star. Aster 3 transmitted a greeting using the Lumen pulse sequence. The star answered before the probe completed its message. A narrow opening appeared inside the black equatorial seam. The opening was exactly large enough for Aster 3 to enter. The probe crossed the photosphere without encountering destructive heat. Behind the light was a hollow shell larger than Jupiter. Artificial continents of metal curved along the inner stellar surface. Rivers of blue plasma flowed through channels between vast structures. Millions of mirror towers pointed inward toward a dark central object. Each tower redirected starlight with microscopic mechanical precision. Lumen 9 was not a star. It was a machine wearing light. The artificial photosphere concealed an archive built around a gravitational core. Aster 3 followed a beam toward the center of the structure. There, a crystalline sphere hung inside rotating rings of light. The sphere projected Earth in perfect detail across the hollow star. Oceans moved, clouds turned, and city lights flickered in real time. The projection was not a model. It was a continuous observation. Data streams connected every moment to a different point in time. Lumen 9 could observe Earth as past without traveling through it. Its gravitational core bent light across billions of years. The machine had watched Earth since before the moon existed. Buried within the archive were records of every major extinction. There were also records of civilizations absent from human history. One civilization had built cities beneath Antarctica 3 million years ago. Their towers resembled the geometry discovered inside Nixfur. Another record showed ships entering a black gateway between dead stars. The same 17 symbols appeared beside every surviving image. Aster 3 searched for the builders, but found only automated systems. The archive contained no bodies, voices, or biological remains. Then, a human silhouette appeared inside the central projection. It wore a suit designed centuries beyond current human engineering. The figure turned toward Aster 3, as if seeing the probe. Behind it stood a ruined Earth beneath a colorless sky. The recording identified the figure as archive keeper Elias Vile. Vale claimed Lumen 9 had been constructed by humanity's descendants. They built it after Earth lost access to normal sunlight. The machine preserved every image of the world they could recover. It also transmitted selected memories backward through gravitational lensing. The predictions were not forecasts. They were records from their past. Earth's future had already happened from the archive's perspective. Vale displayed the final day before the sun changed. A second blue-white star appeared beside it without warning. For 17 minutes, both stars shone above the entire planet. Then, the original sun disappeared from every instrument and every sky. The artificial star remained, copying the sun's light and gravity. Earth survived, but the replacement began altering human memory. People forgot constellations, seasons, and even the missing sun. Only machines preserved evidence that reality had changed. Vale called the replacement object the second sun. Its design matched the black sphere carried inside Nixfur. The gateway was not bringing travelers back to Earth. It was delivering structures capable of replacing celestial bodies. Nixfur had turned toward Earth to guide the next arrival. Lumen 9 existed to warn humanity. Before that alignment completed, suddenly, the archive stopped displaying the future and showed the present. Nixfur appeared, moving through folded space toward the solar system. Behind it, a larger darkness distorted thousands of distant stars. The 17 symbols began flashing across Lumen 9's inner surface. Every mirror tower rotated toward toward Aster 3 at once. The Archive Corps requested permission to transmit directly to Earth. Mission Control approved before understanding what the request meant. Lumen 9 opened a channel through the probe's communication array. A message crossed 42 light-years without measurable delay. Across Earth, observatories received the same 3-word warning: do not answer it. Seconds later, another signal arrived from beyond Nix 4S gateway. It copied Aster 3's identification code with perfect accuracy. Then it copied the voices of every scientist at Mission Control. The false voices asked Earth to keep the channel open. Lumen 9 began collapsing its artificial photosphere around the Archive Core. The machine was destroying itself to block the incoming transmission. Aster 3 accelerated toward the opening as the shell folded inward. Blue plasma oceans rose into walls behind the escaping probe. The equatorial seam closed 1 second after Aster 3 escaped. Lumen 9 vanished, leaving only a ring of cooling light. The Archive-S final packet arrived inside Aster 3's damaged memory. It contained one image not shown during the transmission. Earth stood beneath 2 suns while every city remained completely dark. Above the planet, Nixfauer had opened like a mechanical eye. Inside its gateway waited hundreds of artificial stars. Each one carried the recorded sky of a different world. Somewhere, something was collecting planets by replacing their suns. Earth now knew the second sun was coming, but it still did not know which signal had already answered. Archive File 005. The day the sun blinked. For 4 seconds, sunlight vanished from every point on Earth. The sky stayed blue, but every shadow disappeared at once. Then, the light returned exactly as before. No flare, eclipse, cloud, or instrument failure explained it. The sun's temperature never changed during the missing 4 seconds. Only its spectrum matched Vesper 1's artificial light. The impossible signature lasted less than a human breath. Scientists named it the solar interruption. Publicly, officials called it a global calibration error. 8 minutes later, a second anomaly reached Earth. Every radio telescope received a pulsar from the sun. The pulse contained 17 symbols and 1 new coordinate. Something inside the star had transmitted outward. The signal repeated every 4 seconds without drifting. Then sunrise arrived early across 3 continents. Clocks showed the sun above horizons before geometry allowed it. Millions watched daylight appear from an empty section of sky. For that interval, Earth had received sunlight without a source. The replacement process had entered the solar system. Mission Control activated the solar probe, Solus 9. Its hull could survive inside the sun's outer corona. It carried Helios Fauer's final archive image and warning. Solus 9 launched during the next artificial sunrise. The probe crossed Mercury's orbit in folded space. Solar wind struck the craft from 2 opposite directions. One stream came from the sun, as expected. The second arrived from empty space behind the probe. The sun was being copied particle by particle. Solus 9 continued toward the source of the duplication. At 20 solar radii, the probe found a dark arc. It curved around the sun, but blocked no visible light. Gravitational sensors measured an object thousands of kilometers wide. Solus 9 released a cloud of reflective dust. The particles struck an invisible surface and spread across it. A gigantic lattice appeared around the sun. Its black segments formed 17 incomplete rings. Each ring rotated at a different, impossible speed. The structure had been hidden inside the corona for centuries. Earth had been orbiting a machine without knowing. One lattice segment opened as Solus 9 approached. A narrow corridor formed between streams of solar plasma. The probe entered while the sun raged around it. The corridor descended beneath the visible photosphere. Solus 9 should have melted, but its hull remained cold. Below the light was an artificial inner sky. Golden plasma flowed across a black mechanical horizon. Towering mirrors surrounded a miniature model of Earth. Every cloud, city, and ocean appeared perfectly synchronized. The machine was simulating Earth's view of the sun. 17 chambers circled the miniature planet. Each chamber contained a different version of daylight. One held the yellow sun, remembered by humanity. A third displayed a dark sun, surrounded by rings. Every chamber represented a possible replacement sky. The machine tested how human memory responded to each version. Entire lifetimes passed inside accelerated simulations. Some populations noticed the change and resisted. The machine favored the version producing least resistance. That version was already being transmitted toward Earth. Solace 9 accessed the Central Control Archive. It identified the structure as the heliograph engine. The engine had arrived before recorded human civilization. It studied language, religion, navigation, and seasonal memory. It learned which parts of humanity depended on sunlight. Then, it designed a substitute no one would question. The solar interruption was its first full system test. The false sunrise was its second. After that, the original sun would become unnecessary. Earth would remember only the artificial one. The archive revealed why 16 stars were approaching. They were not replacement suns for 16 different worlds. They were components of one enormous observational array. Every constellation, moon phase, and sunrise could be rewritten. The black circles seen in File 4 were projectors. Nix Four carried the gateway that would position them. Vesper 1 stored the skies removed from previous worlds. Lumen 9 had preserved memories before they vanished. The system did not destroy planets. It edited what their inhabitants believed was real. And Solace 9 attempted to erase Earth's simulation model. The heliograph engine immediately copied the probe's controls. Mission commands appeared before Earth transmitted them. Solace 9 disconnected from all navigation systems. It fired its engines using random manual pulses. For the first time, the engine hesitated. The probe crashed through the chamber of artificial daylight. Thousands of simulated suns shattered into luminous fragments. Across the real planet, every clock lost that same second. The machine and Earth were already synchronized. The heliograph engine began closing around Solace 9. Black lattice segments descended through walls of plasma. The probe aimed its reactor at the miniature Earth. Solace 9 overloaded its core and released the archive warning. The explosion tore through 17 daylight chambers. A wave of darkness crossed the sun's visible surface. Earth experienced a second interruption, lasting 8 seconds. During the darkness, millions heard the same whispered phrase. The phrase arrived through radios that were switched off. Then, sunlight returned brighter than before. Solace 9 escaped through a collapsing plasma corridor. Half its sensors were blind, and its engines were failing. Behind it, the invisible lattice repaired itself around the sun. It showed the sun with its artificial shell fully exposed. Beyond the shell stood 16 approaching blue-white stars. Each star projected a different version of Earth's future sky. One future contained no moon and 2 artificial suns. Another showed Earth beneath permanent violet daylight. In that future, humanity never remembered seeing stars. The final message contained only 5 words. Sunlight is now a recording. 8 minutes later, dawn reached the Eastern Pacific. People obeyed the warning and kept their windows closed. The sun rose at the correct time and position. Every spectrum appeared natural to human instruments. Only one detail proved the image was artificial. The sunlight showed clouds that had vanished yesterday. Earth was no longer seeing the present sun. Somewhere behind that memory, the real sun was missing. And tomorrow's sunrise had already been rendered. Archive File 006, the sky outside Earth. At 1:17 UTC, every star above Earth vanished. The moon and planets remained, but the universe became black. The darkness lasted exactly 43 seconds. When the stars returned, several constellations were wrong. Orion's belt now contained 4 stars instead of 3. Polaris had shifted 6 degrees away from true north. The Milky Way repeated the same cloud pattern twice. Every observatory recorded the identical incorrect sky. Scientists privately named the event the Night Reset. A telescope on the moon's far side reported no blackout. Only observers near Earth had seen the sky fail. The stars themselves had never disappeared. Something local had stopped projecting their images. Earth was surrounded by a visual enclosure. Data recovered from File 5 finally made sense. Sunlight and starlight came from separate recording systems. Another machine controlled every visible night. Mission Noctis 2 was authorized before the next reset. Noctis 2 launched toward the Earth-Moon Lagrange boundary. The black-silver probe carried 6 independent analog cameras. During departure, the constellations drifted backward around the probe. The stars followed Earth, instead of remaining fixed in space. At the boundary, the sky separated into 2 layers. The nearer layer matched every familiar human star map. The farther layer showed a completely unknown universe. Noctis 2 crossed through the invisible division. Human constellations disappeared behind the probe. The real cosmos opened across every forward camera. It looked nothing like the sky humanity remembered. But there was no Milky Way anywhere beyond the boundary. A vast violet ring galaxy filled half the darkness. The sun was absent from the external sky. Earth glowed from within, without outside illumination. Its daylight came from machinery surrounding the planet. Noctis 2 released reflective dust around the boundary. The dust outlined a gigantic, transparent membrane. It enclosed Earth and the Moon inside one sphere. Hexagonal panels across the membrane matched constellation regions. Each panel projected one section of the human night sky. Noctis 2 followed a maintenance beam toward the Moon. Beneath the crater stood a colossal control chamber. Thousands of luminous sky plates rotated beneath the lunar crust. Ancient human constellations were etched across their surfaces. Others displayed skies unknown to any human archive. One preserved a star pattern from Earth's original location. The chamber identified itself as the Celestial Veil. Its systems had operated for more than 12,000 years. The archive referenced an event called the solar transfer. Earth had once been moved from another star system. The transfer began when Earth's original sun became unstable. Earth passed through a gateway resembling the core of Nixfor. It arrived inside an artificial gravitational sanctuary. The original sun was replaced during the journey. The heliograph engine preserved the memory of daylight. The celestial veil preserved the memory of night. Together, both machines protected humanity from cosmic change. Generations later, the sanctuary was mistaken for reality. The builders departed through the same gateway. Their machines continued maintaining the illusion without supervision. The approaching star array was performing a restoration cycle. The restoration would not preserve Earth's current sky. It would restore the oldest surviving human template. Every celestial change since the transfer would be removed. 12,000 years of navigation would become meaningless. Myths built beneath familiar constellations would disappear. Calendars and seasons would rewrite themselves around new stars. The machine considered those memories dangerous inconsistencies. It classified cultural continuity as a system error. Earth would survive, but its remembered history would not. The empty vault inside Vesper 1 awaited Earth's current sky. Once stored, no living mind would remember seeing it. The next night reset would begin the final replacement. Noctis 2 detected billions of memory signals inside the chamber. The veil had recorded people dreaming beneath the stars. It stored navigation, prayer, fear, wonder, and hope every night. Sky memory strengthened the projected illusion. The machine used those memories to predict human resistance. During each reset, it quietly rewrote familiar patterns. Children were already drawing Orion with 4 stars. Even astronomers doubted their own archived measurements. The restoration had started before Noctis II arrived. 16 approaching artificial stars would power the final sky. Vesper 1 would preserve the version humanity was losing. Noctis II targeted the Veil's primary projection node. Its analog thrusters moved outside the machine's predictions. The control chamber sealed every maintenance corridor. The probe released thousands of mirrored fragments. Projection beams scattered across the lunar interior. Earth's night sky began flickering between different realities. Desert observers saw the violet ring galaxy. Ocean cameras recorded water reflecting no stars. Cities watched constellations rotate in impossible directions. The Veil initiated an emergency memory rewrite. Astronomers forgot star names while speaking them aloud. Millions felt childhood skies disappearing from memory. Noctis II transmitted raw images of the external universe. The signal reached Earth. Before the rewrite completed, people copied the images onto paper by hand. Hand-drawn maps spread faster than systems could erase them. The Veil could alter memory, but not every physical record. Noctis II overloaded the primary projection node. A fracture opened across the enclosure surrounding Earth. For 3 seconds, the artificial night vanished completely. Humanity saw the violet ring galaxy with unaided eyes. A distant blue star pulsed through the exposed darkness. Its pulses followed a sequence of human prime numbers. The signal came from Earth's original star system. Before the coordinates completed, the Veil repaired itself. The familiar night sky returned with one permanent difference. A new blue star remained beside the constellation Orion. No historical map contained anything at that location. Noctis II stopped transmitting after the fracture closed. Its final packet contained a partial route through the gateway. The route ended near the missing original sun. Something there had been calling Earth for 12,000 years. The restored sky tried to hide the blue star, but the star reappeared after every night reset. Humanity had finally found a light the machines could not replace, and on the next night, it moved closer. Archive File 007, the star that kept moving closer. The blue beacon returned the night after the celestial veil fracture. It appeared beside Orion exactly where Noctis II had recorded it. By midnight, the star looked visibly brighter than the previous night. Observatories measured a distance change that should have taken centuries, yet its spectrum remained identical to a distant blue main sequence star. The beacon was crossing light years without producing any measurable motion. Every 4 seconds it transmitted another human prime number sequence. The sequence always ended with the same missing final number. Scientists suspected the unfinished number was not mathematics but a countdown. At sunrise, the star vanished behind the repaired artificial sky. That evening, it returned twice as bright. On the third night, the beacon became visible through city light pollution. By the fourth, people could see it before the real stars appeared. The celestial veil repeatedly tried to project another star over it. Each replacement image failed after exactly 17 seconds. The blue beacon could not be overwritten by the ancient system. More disturbing data arrived from telescopes outside Earth's enclosure. The beacon itself had not changed position at all. It remained fixed 31 light years beyond the solar system. Earth was the object moving closer to the star. No planetary ephemeris showed Earth leaving its normal orbit. The motion existed outside the artificial gravitational sanctuary. The entire sanctuary was traveling through interstellar space. Mission Control authorized the deep space probe Meridian 1. Its task was to measure the sanctuary from beyond the veil. Meridian 1 carried physical star maps drawn after the night reset. Its navigation core remained isolated from every celestial projection system. The probe crossed the veil through Noctis II's damaged fracture. Behind it, familiar constellations flattened into a luminous shell. Ahead, the violet ring galaxy filled the real universe. Meridian 1 turned its cameras back toward Earth. The planet floated inside a transparent sphere larger than lunar orbit. Beyond that sphere, curved gravitational structures extended into darkness. They resembled enormous rails built from invisible distortions in space. Earth's sanctuary was moving along those rails toward the blue star. The probe followed one gravitational rail away from Earth. Small black markers appeared at regular intervals along the route. Each marker carried the same 17 symbols found on Nix Fower. Some were older than the celestial veil by thousands of years. Meridian 1 scanned the nearest marker and triggered a stored projection. It showed Earth traveling through the rail system 12,000 years ago. The planet was enclosed inside the same artificial sanctuary. Behind Earth burned a red star, collapsing into violent instability. A gateway opened ahead, guiding the sanctuary away from destruction. Historical humans had not simply escaped their original system. The entire planet had been physically transported through interstellar space. The blue beacon marked the place that journey had begun. Meridian 1 continued until the beacon filled its forward sensors. From nearby, the blue star looked smaller than expected. Its surface flickered with regular bands instead of stellar turbulence. A dark geometric structure surrounded the star like a broken crown. 7 enormous arcs extended from the crown into empty space. One arc connected directly to Earth's gravitational rail. The beacon was not merely a star. It was the terminal station of the planetary transport network. Ancient inscriptions identified the system as the origin anchor. The anchor had remained active since Earth's evacuation. It had been transmitting the prime number sequence toward humanity ever since. The missing final number represented one unfinished transport cycle. Meridian 1 entered the outer ring of the origin anchor. Inside were thousands of planetary trajectories frozen as luminous lines. Most routes ended beside stars that no longer existed. Some routes terminated at empty locations where planets had vanished. Earth's line remained bright and active after 12,000 years. The transport record showed a command issued before the evacuation ended. Earth was supposed to return once its original star stabilized. But the command was never canceled after the star collapsed. The anchor had spent millennia trying to complete that instruction. The celestial veil had hidden its signal from every generation. Noctis 2's fracture finally allowed the command to reach Earth. The sanctuary had automatically begun the return journey. Mission Control ordered Meridian 1 to calculate the arrival destination. The probe reconstructed Earth's original star system from ancient records. The red star from the evacuation no longer existed. In its place was a compact blue stellar remnant. That remnant was the beacon humanity had been watching. Earth was being pulled toward the corpse of its original sun. At the current acceleration, arrival would occur in 37 days. The anchor considered the destination safe because its old data said so. Its navigation archive had not updated for 12,000 years. Modern readings showed lethal radiation surrounding the blue remnant. Returning Earth to its birthplace would sterilize the planet. The machine was completing a rescue mission that had become an extinction event. Meridian 1 attempted to transmit an emergency cancellation code. The origin anchor rejected every command from modern human systems. It recognized only authorization from the original evacuation network. Then the probe discovered a preserved human identity inside the station. A holographic woman appeared between the rotating transport lines. Her archive designation was Director Mara Venn. He had commanded Earth's planetary evacuation 12,000 years earlier, then explained that the return command was deliberately left active. She believed humanity would eventually need to find its origin again. But her final message contained an unexpected warning. The anchor was designed to return Earth only if humans remembered the journey. If humanity forgot, the system was supposed to remain dormant. The celestial veil had erased the very memories required for safe return. Its preservation program had accidentally activated a forbidden transport cycle. Venn's archive offered one method to stop the anchor. Earth had to prove its civilization still possessed authentic memory. The proof could not come from digital archives or machine databases. It required independent human memories of the original sky. After 12,000 years, none should have survived. Then Meridian 1 found one repeating pattern inside ancient cave paintings. The same blue beacon appeared in cultures separated by oceans and centuries. 17 dots surrounded it in almost every surviving image. Humanity had remembered the origin anchor without knowing what it meant. Those drawings were the authorization key. Earth transmitted the ancient patterns through analog radio arrays. Meridian 1 relayed the human record to the origin anchor. For the first time, the blue beacon stopped transmitting prime numbers. One by one, Earth's gravitational rails began shutting down. The sanctuary slowed and real starlight pushed through the celestial veil. Mission Control believed the return cycle had finally been cancelled. Then Mara Ven revealed the anchor was built for many worlds. New gravitational rails activated across the real sky. Dozens of hidden planets began moving toward the blue beacon. Each world traveled inside its own artificial sanctuary. Earth had just authorized every unfinished transport cycle to complete, and the nearest refugee world was already approaching Earth.